Hello fellow makeup lovers, I am so excited for today's video because I am going to be finally trying Gimme Glow cosmetics. I have wanted to try them for so long and I decided to go ahead and make them my branded try for the month of July. So I have a few products in front of me. I'm so excited to get on my face. In case you're wondering, my eyes are stained blue because I've been playing with the Menagerie Whale Song palette a lot and it does leave staining on the eyes, so I try to cover it the best as I can, but I'm going to be using green shadows today, so it should all work out in the end. I did pick up quite a few of single shadows from Gimme Glow, but I decided to go ahead and leave that for a separate video just because I don't want this to be super long, and I just thought today I would focus on trying out the palette that I got, which I'm so excited about. I grabbed 2 highlighters and a glitter primer, so I'll just show you my little haul minus the single shadows real quick so you can see what we're going to be trying today. So first of all, like I said, I got the glitter primer. This is the Glow Harder Glitter Shadow Primer. I specifically grabbed this just because I thought, like, what a cool alternative to have. Instead of using the NYX glitter glue, I could have an indie one to use, which I do want to try. I think it's like, oh gosh, I don't even know what it's called, but there's one from Fahrenheit Cosmetics and I do want to try that. But also I purchased this because the other day I was using my NYX glitter glue. I was like, this is pretty old. And then I started to think about it more and I was like, I'm pretty sure I bought this when I was pregnant with my son and he's almost 3. He'll be 3 in a few months. So I probably should not be using this because, like, it's a cream product that you put on the eyes. It's probably expired. So I just wanted to replace it and try something else. So super excited about this today, and not just today, just in general. And then also I grabbed 2 highlighters, which I'm kind of blown away by the size of these because, I mean, they're a regular highlighter, a loose highlighter size, but they're only $5. Like $5 for a highlighter. Like, you literally can't beat that. I remember seeing these when they first released. I thought they were really beautiful, but I didn't plan on making an order just for a highlighter. I did not realize that they're only $5. So I'm pretty excited about it, but they have 2 shades that really drew me in and caught my attention. I do think that their pressed highlighters look beautiful as well, and I'd love to try one eventually, but I just thought I would go more the budget-friendly route, and I do, like I said, really love, actually, I don't think I said it, I really love loose highlighters. I have quite a few that I've fallen in love with. So the first one I have here is called Warm Lights, which I might end up, I don't know which one I'm going to end up using. Maybe I'll use one on each cheek. Would that be ridiculous? So there is Warm Lights. It looks to be kind of like a whitey goldish shade. Look at that shine. Ooh. And the undertone is perfect. Like, it just blends right into my skin. I feel like I'm going to like that a lot. So much. And then the other one is a pink tone called Baby Doll, which I live for a good pink tone highlight, and the swatch of this one looked beautiful. I feel like I just got product everywhere, but ooh. That is stunning. They look really beautiful. Like I said, I can't get over $5. Even if you bought one of these alone and paid for shipping, it would only be, if you're in the United States at least, it would only be $10. So those look beautiful. I cannot wait to try them. So I definitely cannot wait to do my highlighter, but I'm even more excited about my eyeshadow. So today I'm going to be playing with the Gimme Glow Juicy Olive palette. I'm so excited because, first of all, the packaging on this is so cute. It's just in the little box here. This is, I don't know, the other day I was thinking about this. I took swatch pictures, or not swatch pictures, I'm sorry. I took Instagram pictures of the palette because I love to do like little, not layouts, but I just love taking pictures of palettes, and it's part of the layout that I do on my Instagram. So I took this out and then I put it back in. I'm like, isn't it so silly that is, like, I feel like so many YouTubers, we always put the packaging back in and we're like, we put it back in the packaging even though I already took it out. And it's like, does anyone actually care that it's in the packaging again? Or is it just something we've, like, done over and over and conditioned ourselves to do, that we're like, oh, I put it back in the packaging, but who cares about the packaging? I mean, you could show the packaging without it being in there. I don't know. One of the things I think about when I can't sleep at night. So anyways, here's what the palette looks like. It is so cute, just absolutely stunning. It's got like the brick walls behind it, and then, like, you can see it looks like, I don't know, it looks like it's lit, literally. And then the back is just a nice olive shade, although I will say, you know, there is no product information on this, is there? I literally just said I don't care about the packaging, and now I'm pulling it back out. There's no product information on the packaging either, which I thought that legally you were supposed to have that product information on at least one. It either had to be on the packaging or the palette. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, it is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. It is just absolutely stunning. I painted my nails to match this palette because I'm such a weird matchy-matchy person. It is just absolutely beautiful. I love these tones with all of my heart and soul. I love grungy greens. I feel like this is going to be like the perfect neutral, my version of neutral palette in fall. This doesn't exactly scream summer to me, but that's fine. I don't really care. I'm going to use it anyways. I think that the tones in here look really beautiful. There's like a light green, there's a grungy green, this is more of a true green, and then there's like this nice deep, I wouldn't say it's a black, it's almost like a charcoaly type of shade, which will add a lot of depth. And then there are two greeny gold shades, which I'm actually not mad at because I love a good greeny gold. That's the only kind of gold I really go for. So I'm excited to use those. I probably will pull in a different shade from a different single shadow just to highlight my inner corner. I've got one in mind that I think will look really, really cool with this color scheme. So I don't know why I keep holding it up like this. I'm just gonna take it back down for a moment as I talk about it. So I was kind of torn about purchasing this palette just because it felt like it was a little bit late to the party as far as green shadows goes. I feel like if this had come out like a year ago, I feel like everyone would have freaked out. I mean, I feel like Gimme Glow already does really great launches. They always sell out. I feel like they're very popular among the indie makeup loving community, but I don't know, everything about it is just so aesthetically pleasing and beautiful. It kind of makes me think of The Princess Diaries when Julie Andrews says, "A queen is never late, everyone else is just early." Maybe that applies to this palette. Maybe this will completely blow my socks off. I've got really high hopes. I've never tried Gimme Glow formula before. Actually, I take that back. I have one metallic shadow from them that's like, I think it's called Vintage Champagne or something, which I haven't used that much. I don't know. I bought it because it looked so beautiful, but I realized after I purchased it that the swatch that I saw was on a different skin tone than my own, and I should have took that into account. This was years ago, and it looked a lot deeper on me than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot lighter, so I didn't end up using it that much, but I remember thinking the formula is really beautiful. So my camera's informing me that I've already been talking for 11 minutes, so let's just go ahead and jump on into swatching this bad boy. I was going to say applying it, but we're going to swatch it first because I live for swatches. So it does retail for $30, and all the pans are, I believe these are they called 37mm pans if I'm correct? So they are bigger than your average shadow. All right, I'm sorry I'm talking so much. Let's just go ahead and jump on into swatching. All right, so I'm starting off with Dry Martini. Ooh, okay, it doesn't, I would say the texture feels soft, but not like super, super creamy, but not rough by any means. And it is super pigmented. You can see I just barely swiped in there. And then next we have Cocktails, which I've actually never even had a dirty martini, but I will definitely try one next time I have the chance. Next we have Shaken Not Stirred. Ooh. Whew. Oh man, that is beautiful. All right, next we have a Garnish, which I am so excited about that shade. Like, that is beautiful. Dirty Martini. Oh man, and Vodka-tini. I've never had any teenies. I need to be more adventurous. All right, so, oh my gosh, that shade is beautiful. I feel like in the pan, the metallic shades don't look that different from each other, but you can probably tell now that Shaken Not Stirred is more of like a bronzy shade. Actually matches my nail polish pretty spot on. And then Garnish is like very much more of a like green metallic. I'm trying to think if I have any palettes that make me like immediately think of this, which is like, yes, I have some where it's like they have one really grungy shade here or there. I have some singles that are grungy, but I feel like all together this actually is so stunning. I'm not going to do Maybe I'll show you at the end. I'll just hold up some palettes next to each other. I'm not going to do comparison swatches today just because I plan on hopefully before the end of the month, hopefully fingers crossed, doing my Battle of the Green palettes, which will include this. Alright, so there's the up close swatches. Also, before I wipe my hand off, I figured I'd show you up close the two highlights. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with Vodka-Tini. In case you're wondering, I primed my eyes with the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in the shade Illustrate. Just wanted to show you the amount of kickback you get when you tap your brush in. It's just a little bit, not too much, but it is there. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off by throwing that shade through my crease. I only went in with a little bit because I figure better to go in with a little and add more if I need to rather than start off with a ton. And I'm going to be using this shade basically as my transition. I'm also going with a little bit of a smaller brush than normally I would for this step. I don't know why. I just felt like grabbing this one. Honestly, it's blending pretty well. I feel like when I first applied it, it looked a little bit like patchy as I was blending it in, but just took a moment to work into the eye, and I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to kind of slowly add a little bit more. I'm also going to take that just a little bit along the lower lash line. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab Dirty Martini, and I'm going to use this in my crease a little bit lower down, just to start deepening it up, adding some depth. I'm definitely curious to try these mattes with a different primer, because sometimes, like, you know, not every shadow and every primer work together perfectly. I am getting them to blend out, but I wouldn't say it's like the most effortless blending I've ever done in my life. It's definitely taking just a minute to work each shadow into the lid and just really get it to soften up a little bit from when I first place it down. But as long as it doesn't start coming off from my eye, I can work with it. That's my one like shadow pet peeve. Alright, so I am going to go in with a touch more of Vodka-Tini over Dirty Martini, and I'm just going to make sure that they're blended together. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab the deepest shade called Cocktails, and I'm going to put that right onto the outer. Ooh, that's, honestly, I barely went in with any, and it's very, very pigmented. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap that. And I'm just going to use circular motions just to blend that out a little bit. Definitely really impressed with how that shade is blending out. I feel like it looks charcoaly in the pan, but it pretty much applies and looks like a true black. Alright, now I'm going to take one of my previous brushes and no additional product and just kind of go over this edge right here. I'm going to start blending it out, and then I'll go back in with my previous brush and kind of do a little sandwich between the two brushes and just keep going back and forth to make sure that deepest shade is completely blended out. I just looked really quickly, all nice and up close in my mirror, and I don't have any fallout from the matte shades, which is really nice, especially with that really pigmented deep shade. Alright, so for the lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and grab Dry Martini, and I'm going to go ahead and run that along basically the entire lower lash line. I thought it'd be fun to do this shade on the lower lash line just because it's a little bit more of a bright pop of green, and I would have the lid be a little bit more of those grungy shades. Honestly, right now I'm so happy that I purchased this palette. I mean, of course, I still have to use it more and see how it wears and all of that good stuff, but just, I don't know. These are the kind of colors that just make me so happy, so I'm going to grab just a tiny touch of Cocktails and put it right here just so the lower lash line and the lid kind of meet up and match each other a little bit, which that turns into a really, really beautiful deep green shade. So at this point, I feel like there's a lot that I could do with this look to kind of complete it. I feel like I could put the deep grungy shade all over the lid. I could do the light green shade all over the lid. I could do the deep grungy shade on the lid with the light green on the inner corner. I could do the light green on the front half of the lid, the deep grungy green on the outer half of the lid. So there's definitely a lot I could do, or I could go in with matte shades if I really wanted to, but I don't. So I think I'm going to kind of do the obvious choice, and I'm going to use the deep green on like the outer part right here, and then the light green on the inner part. So I'm just taking a little bit and I'm just going to pop it on. Ooh, that is beautiful. In contrast to that really deep, rich black charcoal type shade, this looks even more green. It looks so beautiful and metallic. This is not wet or anything. No extra primer laid down. And I'm just barely using just a little bit of product, not going crazy by any means. Before I go on to the next shade, I'm just going to take my little tiny brush and I'm just going to just lightly blend this area here. I did not go in with any additional product or anything. Alright, I got a little bit of fallout from the shimmer shade. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and grab Garnish, and I'm going to pop that onto the front. This is beautiful. I don't know, there's something about this color scheme altogether. Like, I feel like this might be my favorite green look that I've ever done. No lie. I love this. Again, just a tiny little bit of fallout from the shimmer. I'm going to take my tiny little brush again because there's not really much product left. And I'm just going to use that to go over this little line right here. I'm grabbing the tiniest little amount of vodka-tini on that brush and just blending out this area here a little bit more. I'm a little bit torn now on what to do for my inner corner because originally I was going to use the glitter primer from Gimme Glow, and then I was going to go in with the JD Glow prismatic shade because it's like this beautiful like lime green base with this blue reflect, and I thought that this would be so pretty with a full green look, and then using this on the inner corner. And I don't know, I just feel like this is so bright and this look is so grungy. I kind of want to go in with Makeup Geek Voltage. I've been loving that shade so much right now. It's like a really beautiful, like light goldy yellow white gold duochrome shade. I think I'm gonna go grab that. I don't even have it here because I've been using it so much. Alright, so here's what Makeup Geek Voltage looks like. I feel like that's a little bit more suited for the inner corner, which this is just a regular shadow, so I'm not gonna go in with the glitter primer. But I will definitely use this in the future, and I'll keep you updated. I will definitely review it. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop Voltage right here. See, I just feel like this like goes with the tone of this look. Alright, so off camera really quickly, I'm going to add the NYX liner in the shade Golden Olive, which I feel like fits really well with this color scheme, and then I'm going to add some mascara. I might throw on some lashes. I'm still a little bit undecided, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and skipped lashes today just because I felt like mascara was enough, and for me, this is a very, very everyday wearable green look. I absolutely love how it turned out, so I thought I would just stop at lashes. I just really love it stop at mascara, I'm sorry, because I just really love it as is. So I was toying with the idea of doing one highlight on both cheeks. I feel like if I only went in with one, it would be Warm Lights, because I think that'll just go better with the green look, and it's got like a little bit of a gold undertone. I think it would pair everything together. So this is normally the side that I take pictures from, so maybe I'll do Warm Lights on this side and Baby Doll on this side, and then I'll do Baby Doll on this side. I don't even have my favorite highlighting brush with me right now, so let me find one that I like. So I'm starting off with Warm Lights. Okay. This is not my usual highlight brush. My usual highlight brush is not dirty, it's clean, but they're like all stacked together in like this big bucket of brushes. I need to put them all away and put them in their proper spots, which I haven't done yet, so I just grabbed a random brush. This is so intense though. Oh my goodness. May have gone in with just a little bit too much. I'll do this one on my nose too. Like, I can't get over how affordable this highlighter is, and absolutely stunning. Like, it looks kind of wet on the cheek. If it wears really well on me, then I have definitely found a winner, because I think that is a really beautiful neutral highlight. It doesn't even come off gold. I thought it would come off a little bit more gold on the face, but it kind of just looks like a light icy white, which they do have a bunch of different shades of these, so you can definitely find one for your skin tone. I just obviously went for the lightest ones. Alright, now going with Baby Doll. Yeah, that's really beautiful as well. Yeah, I really like them both. Super excited to use them with my favorite highlighter brush whenever I find it, because that'll be even better, because it just like blends everything in so much. I absolutely love and adore the Shot Missé brush. I'll try and remember to like link it down below or put the number or whatever, because I can never remember, but it's literally $1 and it's so good. Alright, lips. I'm torn because I feel like this could be super fun to go in with like some type of grungy shade, like a green or something, but also maybe a nude lip. Surprise, surprise. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take my Linda Howberry Fantastic lipstick in the shade Pink Opal. It's already glossy, but I kind of want to take it a step further, so I'm going to take my Buxom lip polish in the shade Amy, which, yes, I only bought because it's my name. And I'm just going to have that right on the center here. Alright guys, so this is the finished look from playing with Gimme Glow Cosmetics for the first time. I didn't grab any lipsticks from them, although they are super affordable. They're only $5, but I saw them kind of described as it's liquid lipsticks, as kind of like a soft satiny finish, like they don't dry down all the way, which isn't my typical favorite liquid lipstick. And also I just feel like I don't want to buy any liquid lipsticks, for one, because I have so many lipsticks. I just like never wear liquid lipsticks anymore, and if I were going to wear it, I'd want to wear Dose of Colors because that's my favorite. I was kind of tempted by one shade called Whiskey and Honey because I saw Smarter Beauty do a look with this palette and she paired Whiskey and Honey with it, and it was absolutely stunning, but that one was out of stock. That was the only one tempting me just because the shade was so unique. But anyways, I am so happy with how this look turned out, and I'm really excited. I'm so excited that I have this palette. I feel like I need to like learn some new vocabulary. I am so fortunate. I'm so enthusiastic. And I'm out. I am so thrilled, exhilarated, elevated, animated, enlivened, electrified, stirred, and moved that I have this palette. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it is absolutely beautiful. Like I said in the very beginning, I knew just looking at it that I loved the color scheme, but seeing it on my eyes, all of these colors together, I just think it's so perfect. And in a lot of ways, it does kind of remind me of the Melt Gemini palette, except better, because I love the matte options in here. I love the shimmers. It's more condensed, even though the shades are bigger, the color story is more condensed, and I think like all together, like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I think if I could change it at all, just since we're, making conversation, I love to do this. Honestly, I was going to say that I would love to have a shade like Voltage in here, but the more I look at the color scheme, the more I'm like, you know what? You're pretty perfect the way you are. I love it. I love it. I think it's such a pretty palette. First impression love, not full-on review, tried it for a while love. That's a little bit different, but also I feel like I really like the highlighters. I think that there's definitely a lot of bang for your buck. Like, there's a good amount of product. I think it looks beautiful on the cheek, both colors. Like I said, they have quite a few different color options, and then I will try this soon. Sorry I couldn't try it today, but I didn't want to put it underneath these shimmer shadows just because I wanted to see how they applied on their own, and I think that they look really, really beautiful and metallic and super stunning. So really quickly, before I let you go, I'm gonna go through my green palettes and just see which ones remind me of this the absolute most, so I can just show you, just in case you're curious, to at least see the color stories right next to each other. I was trying to find my Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, which unfortunately grew mold, so I do not use it anymore. I scraped off the top layer and I've only used it for comparison's sake against other eyeshadow palettes. I'm not applying it to my eyes anymore. But because of that reason, I cannot find it because I have not used it in a long time. The last time I used it was to compare it to a different palette. So I can't find it in this moment. I apologize, but hopefully they'll be able to show you them compared to each other at some point once I find it. So first off, I have the Kaleidos Sci-Fi Green palette, which is kind of grungy greens, but it has a little bit of those like warmer neutrals in there. So there's what those look like next to each other. And then we've got Morphe times Censored Dark Magic, She Who Shall Not Be Named, basically the Voldemort of YouTube. Here's what these look like next to each other. Here's Juvia's Place Tribe palette next to the Juicy Olive, which these are definitely, I mean, it does have some grungy tones, but overall, I mean, I feel like they're so different. And then last but not least, we have Colored Rain Safari Rain. So honestly, even though originally I felt like I didn't need this palette, I think it stands out a lot because it's the only grungy green palette I have that is just grungy greens. I feel like so many others have like bright greens thrown in there, or blues, or I have full green palettes that are like super pastel-y greens or bright greens, and this is just perfection through and through. I am very content with it. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have tried Gimme Glow, I would love to hear your experience. I did want to mention before I let y'all go, I was asked to mention this in my video, that if you are interested in Gimme Glow, unfortunately their international shipping is pretty expensive. I believe it's $35, which is definitely high, but it is important to remember that for a lot of indie brands, unless they have a deal with the postal service, that's what they're being charged. They're not just charging you $35 because they're like, let me scam this international customer. It's because that's what it costs them to send it, but it is definitely high. So I have high hopes that they will get an international retailer, hopefully sooner rather than later, because they do seem to be a pretty popular indie brand. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!